Welcome back, everyone. Halftime here at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Ohio State Scarlet and Gray spring game. Braxton Miller and the Scarlet team on top of the Gray team, 14-7 at the break. So glad you could join us on this Saturday. I'm Eric Collins with Glenn Mason. Coach, what were your big overall thoughts of what we saw in the first half of play?
Well, probably about what I expected. You know, Braxton Miller is a very, very talented guy. They went heavy on their passing attack. They're working on something. They weren't very good. He hit on sometimes. He throws a nice ball. They're getting a lot of young players to play. I like the way the defensive line is playing. I can see why they're not so concerned about losing those 4 great players last year. They got a lot of potential. Somewhat disappointed in the offensive line. They've gotten to the quarterbacks quite a few times.
Now, another thing that I'm sure Ohio State happy with, they've got a 5th-year senior and backup quarterback Kenny Guyton. Guyton has moved around well in the pocket. Looks like he's got a chance, if needed, to fill in nicely this fall.
Yeah, Kenny Guyton is that security blanket. Not only does he look good today, he's a 5th-year senior that they've seen play under pressure and come through and win for him. Some guys make plays, some guys don't. Kenny Guyton showed he can make plays. And watching him play today, God forbid if something happened to Braxton Miller, I think they'd be confident with this guy.
Yeah, we're still a couple of months away from the start of the regular season. The season's going to start actually in August this year. Ohio State playing a non-conference game against Buffalo out of Mid-American Conference. That's going to be played August 31st.
Well, that's a little, they're going to shuffle off to Buffalo and, you know, out of the Mid-American Conference. And, you know, Buffalo's been a program that's been down, and they've had some success of late. It'll be a good opener for them.
Second non-conference game, San Diego State.
How about San Diego? I got to find out when that game was scheduled. You know, Brady Hoke, the coach at Michigan, used to be at San Diego State. I wonder if he scheduled this game before he left.
Well, the most difficult non-conference game probably going to be week 3 against the California Golden Bears out of the Pac-12. Remember last year, Cal came to Ohio State and really had a game in doubt for Ohio State late in that one.
Yeah, if the Golden Bears could have pulled that game off, it might have saved Coach Tepper's job. You know, he got fired after the season. Coach Dykes is in there now, left Louisiana Tech, went in there, and he'll have a high-powered, throw him up all over the place offense.
And then the conference season starts. One thing to keep an eye on as we look at the 8 conference games that will be played. Ohio State actually has 2 byes this year. They'll have a bye after the Northwestern game, so they will play on October 5th, but they won't play the following weekend. And then they'll have another bye late in the season after their Purdue game. They will have 14 days to get ready for a road game against Illinois.
Well, you look at that Wisconsin game to open up the Big Ten season, and let's face it, the Buckeyes and the Badgers had some classic games in the last few years. True Coach Bielema is gone now. Coach Anderson is in there, but you know, that'll be a tough opener for both teams, and surely be a tough opener for Coach Anderson in his first year as a Badgers head coach.
All right, let's talk about this Ohio State in terms of when could they possibly lose. They didn't lose last year. Which game should Urban Meyer be really concerned about looking at the Big Ten schedule?
Well, you know, heck, if I'm Urban Meyer, I can say I can lose any of those games. That's why you play the football game.
At home. You got Wisconsin at home, Iowa at home, Penn State at home.
I got to go play at Northwestern. You know, Pat Fitzgerald's got those guys going. He's got the two-headed quarterback back. He's talking about championship season. That might be a tough game up there, Ryan Field. That's where you live, isn't it?
Now, the Michigan game. The Michigan game is going to be on the road this year. That one's going to be a doozy. At least we expect it to be a doozy. Wouldn't it be something if Ohio State still hadn't lost under Urban Meyer, and then they got to go up to Ann Arbor?
Well, I think it'd be great. You know, that game every year, Ohio State versus Michigan at the end of the regular season is a traditional clash that everybody looks forward to. And, you know, regardless of what the scores are or what the records are, everybody looks forward to that game. But, you know, how about if they're both undefeated going into that game? Would that be something special?
Well, we can only wait and figure out what's going to happen come fall. We'll take a quick time out from Cincinnati, Ohio. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, folks. Halftime continues to roll on here at Paul Brown Stadium, downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. The Scarlet and Gray game for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Braxton Miller leading the Scarlet to a 14-7 lead at the break. Now joining us now here at halftime, longtime Ohio State president E. Gordon Gee. And It's kind of a different environment here. We're not at the Horseshoe. We're down here in Cincinnati.
It's a wonderful place, and we're really grateful to be here. You know something? It's the only game, gentlemen, that I actually watch. Every other game I spend when I spend in the bathroom. I'm so damn nervous. So it's great to be here with you guys.
Well, I don't think you're nervous at all. I think you got a lot of confidence. But, you know, President Gee, what a year it's been for Ohio State Buckeyes, 12-0 in football. Thad Matta and the basketball team, great run. You got to be very proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of our athletic program, you know. And we also had 511 of our student athletes of over 1,000 who have a 3.0 average and above. Yeah, it has been a great year. You know, we will finish in the top 5, top 3, top 4 in the Sears Cup. That's a pretty amazing run for an institution that has the largest athletic program in the country.
Can you tell me about why we're here right now, Ohio State?
Yeah.
You think you could play at Ohio Stadium, but instead we're a couple of miles south here in Cincinnati.
The stadium is undergoing modest renovations. You know, we have all these great fans. They jump up and down. We have to check the concrete, make certain that the seats are all right, and so we're undergoing renovation. Besides, we think it's good to move the football game around. We belong to the people of the state. We don't belong to the people of Columbus. We belong to 11.6 million Ohioans. We want to make our presence known everywhere.
Well, I stayed in Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati last night, flew in last night, got up early, and I was amazed at the number of Buckeye fans downtown Cincinnati. I thought I was in the wrong city. I thought I was in Columbus.
This is Ohio as a state, wherever you find yourself, every part of this state.
Can you tell me about this initiative? I know that you guys are in the process of raising a whole bunch of money, not just here in southwestern Ohio, but over the entire state.
Well, over the entire country, around the world. We'll take money anywhere, gentlemen. You understand that? Well, we're in the process of raising $2.5 billion. We're about $1.6 billion into it, and we're doing very, very well. Way ahead of schedule. We're very actively involved. And it's for our students, make certain we're the most affordable institution in the country, make certain we're a world-class institution, make certain that we have the kind of facilities we need to have. So we're very engaged. We'll have about 350 of our supporters here this evening in Cincinnati, and it's our but-for campaign.
President Gee, obviously the Big Ten has expanded.
Yeah.
Big Ten was 12, now 14.
Right.
What do you think about that expansion, and what do you think about possible expansion going forward?
Well, you know, I think we're in a pause state right now. I think that I'm very enthusiastic about the expansion. I think that we're moving to the east. Maryland's a great institution. Rutgers is a great institution. They've had a little bit of a problem, and certainly they're engaged in self-correction. But the point is the fact that now we have the New York-Washington corridor, which is a significant institutional commitment on the part of the Big Ten. But right now, I think that we're very, very stable.
Can you talk to us about the guy now beginning his second year as the head coach of the football program, Urban Meyer? Doesn't seem like he's made too many missteps so far in his first 15 months with the program.
Well, you start 12-0. You have a pretty good start. You know, we're delighted to have him. His wife Shelley's wonderful. He's brought in a great coaching staff. And you know, I joke with him about the fact that that the most intense person I've ever met in my life is me until I met him. He's a very intense guy, wonderfully committed. You know, he's from Asheville, Ohio. His wife is from Ross County, so they're Ohioans by birth and Ohioans by passion.
And last question for you, do they let you call any plays here in the spring game?
If they do, I would probably fire someone. I know nothing about football, I can do it, but I enjoy what I do.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, President.
Wonderful to see you. Thank you.
There's President E. Gordon Gee. We're going to get ready for our second half here, the Ohio State Scarlet and Gray spring game. We leave you with Carmen, Ohio. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Thank you.